Lurrus as a companion. This hand's interesting. We're going to keep. Not a Jundamir, or at least a true Jundamir. Yeah, in before 1-2 drop. Average person in chat voted 6 times. Ooh, is this Grixis Dragon? It looks like it. Opponent says they're a fan too, so that's what I'm suspecting. The Grixis Sprite Dragon deck. If they're opting in response, that means they have a land light hand. Yeah. They did put a card on top, so I'm assuming one of these lands was the card that they kept. They drew Thoughtseize with very good draw. Although I guess they scried it to the top. Oh no, they didn't. So I'm definitely going to Thoughtseize. Oh. They don't have double red for next turn. Yeah, we'll just play Goyf. What I'm saying is Kolaghan's Command, Swamp, Bolt, Bolt. If they draw a mountain, they can double bolt the Goyf, I guess. But that's not, of course, a bad exchange. And we're probably going to want to hold a Thoughtseize for Lurrus anyways. 43,000 channel points, wow. It's honestly like not that bad an exchange to get a league though for that many channel points. It's actually pretty good, I think. They did draw the red source, right? So their hand is now Swamp, Kolaghan's Command. We'll just go Thoughtseize there, Kolaghan's Command, and then play, I guess, Smoldering Marsh. So we can play Spyro if we draw it. And then gonna hold the Thoughtseize for Lurrus. They don't put Lurrus into their hand. 43,000 voting for Squirrel Blade. Okay, that's pretty bad then. Should have campaigned harder, I guess. There we go. We're flooding out a bit. They drew Unearth. Ah. Unlucky. Is Grixis Lurrus the new June? You mean Jund? I mean, I think my opponent's playing my Grixis Sprite Dragon Lurrus deck. The list looks basically the same. It's pretty cool. If we trophied their land, did it save Goyf? I don't think so. Maybe it did. I don't think it put it up to 6-7. There's like no way, right? Spyro, Bloodbraid Elf, off the top, Liliana, maybe. That's actually a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. So if they're playing my list, they only play 1 Unearth and 1 Kolaghan's Command main deck. You also have Snapcaster, though, to draw into. So I think I'm going to try to exile Lurrus. Just so they can't, like, snap Unearth and, you know, start gaining life. Oh, I also wasn't playing Thoughtseize, so they have definitely made changes to the list. Or it might not even be playing Sprite Dragon. Never mind. I think they're playing Sprite Dragon. I was main decking 1 Unearth and then siding 2 more because Unearth is so good. Unearth is so good in sideboard games against red decks, I've found. Specifically sideboard games against red decks. Discard Watery Grave. Could this be the Arcanist Shadow? It could, yeah, Thoughtseize does make it seem like they might be playing Arcanist. Absolutely. I guess I want to leave the Bauble in the yard because of Tarmogoyf. Probably just targeting Unearth here. Obviously, Wooded Foothills is not a great draw, but Klothys is so hard for them to beat. Just all praise to Klothys. They discarded Bolts. I guess their last card is maybe like a counterspell. I mean, the Bolts would be pretty good here because they could kill the Liliana. Is this Fatal Push? Yeah. I'm going to target sorceries just so they can't like blow me out with Snapcaster. I'm going to Edict here too. It's Fatal Push? Why would they keep Fatal Push over Bolt though? Probably doesn't matter that much. But maybe. They are playing Dreadhorde Arcanist. Let me check my draw step. If I draw a land, I'll just plus Liliana first. Did not draw a land. Again, don't want to get blown out by Snapcaster. Klothys! Crushing it. My opponent probably has almost no answers to Gargaroth besides a giant Sprite Dragon. I probably don't want Thoughtseizes. Might just play like 2 Gargaroths, although Trophy seems terrible. But I do want the 4th push. Yeah, this looks pretty good to me. Basically the same way we sided against John, although we cut one more discard spell and left in the 3rd bolt. Yeah, we did 4-1 the last league, so we're currently 8-2 on the day with John, which is awesome. I honestly expected like 3-2 a first league and, you know, have a good time and just start playing Squirrel Blade, but I'm having a blast today. John is good against Heliod? I don't think so. Boyle, no good. Maybe we want Boyle actually. They do play a lot of fast lands, but it's probably good enough to play the first copy. Let me cut bolt number 3. No, we need all of these. Gargaroth number 3. Choke is better. I don't think so, because actually, like, Boyle is partially a sideboard card against Amulet Titan. I think Boyle's way better against Amulet Titan. I think that the first copy of Boyle is usually pretty good against them. Like, if they have Dryad in play and you cast Boyle, you just win the game. Yeah, I don't think Jund is good against Heliod, which is why I'm playing 3 Blightbeetle to try to hedge against it. I know Fran is not a fan of Boyle against Titan, but like, I think the upside of it just winning you the game is high enough that I like it. Keep this. Remembering, what does it mean to be a hype train conductor? I guess, you know, gifting subs or, you know, whatever it takes to shovel coal into the fire to get the hype train off the station. Oh, I was also not playing Basic Swamp, but their list is different. They're playing Dreadhorde Arcanist. I think they have a turn 2 Arcanist too. If they Thoughtseize the Goyf, yeah. So let's see if we find an answer. They know about this card that we're drawing. The 3rd Cliffs. Not ideal. I think it's a Thoughtseize my only spell. Might be a quick game too. Do you think there's any particular reason for snow, or they just like it? Probably nothing too crazy. The record, I don't like Boyle from decks like Ponza. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Boyle out of Ponza makes like less sense than Boyle out of Jund. Yeah. I also think you need to change the way you play, because now you can't kill Dryad. The way I play? The way I play because I can't kill Dryad. Oh, you're talking about with Boyle? I don't know. Actually, I don't think that that's true. I think that... I see what you're saying. I disagree that you can't... Oh, we need to pick up the Mire to not get drowned into locked. I disagree that you just can't kill Dryad. I think you still just kill it, and then if you have the Boyle in your hand, you don't kill it. But you only play 1 copy, and they play 4 Dryads, so I usually just still kill it, and then just go on with my day. What's with the Smoldering Marsh? Smoldering Marsh is good in the deck, I think. Maybe I was supposed to play Cliffs. I'm not sure. Probably doesn't really matter. I've liked having it. It was definitely a bit of an experimental thing at first, but the more I play it, the more I'm happy to have a Smoldering Marsh in my deck. I know it's not stock, but also I know that Jund players just like to play the same 75 for 1,000 years. I guess I needed to play around Mana Leak here. It's kind of loose not to. Opponent will probably sack their Spellbomb here too. It's probably fine though. Just make him do it. No, I'm playing 4 shocks. I'm playing two tombs, 1 marsh, or 2 tombs, 1 blood crypt, 1 stomping ground, and then 1 marsh. Well, like notably, I've also just like not been very happy with Ravine in the deck, and that's kind of what got cut for it. That was a great draw. Jeez, and we drew another land. So many lands? I feel like I've been flooding out so much lately. It's probably just like a bit confirmation bias, but I feel like I've been flooding out more than usual lately. Yeah, just playing around Thoughtseize, which is the only thing that can flashback with Arcanist right now. It's a good draw. Let's play around the Mana Leak this time. I think I will play the Mire though. Just keep thinning. We don't have any spell in our graveyard to go with our Rimblem currently though. Calling John to deck in 2021 is my attempt clickbait. I guess, yeah. It's also just a factual statement. John is a deck. Mana Leak when they had 1 mana up. Did they really just? I thought for sure they had 2, but you're right, they had 1. 23 lands, and John seems originally low. Aren't I playing 24? I'm playing 24 with 2 cycle lands, I think. So like, you know, you can maybe not view these as actual lands, or like you can modify it, grade on a curve, and say it's like effectively 22 or 23. They do get the spell bomb this, but we get 3 bolts now. If only we had 1 more red source in play. Don't we also, if they sack the spell bomb, we can? Oh no, never mind. We can't respond to save the bolt. Can't you wait 1 turn? Well, I have to draw a land to wait a turn. I think it's better to just play the long game. Like the long game with the Rimblem makes sense to me at least. I think I'll bolt them 2 times. Maybe just bolt them 3 times. We have another removal spell in our hand. Yeah, but maybe this was a mistake. It's always so weird to play with your Rimblem because you don't get to do it that often. I have 1 more bolt in the deck. I could probably wait on the push. I don't see any reason to push now. Interesting draw. I'm going to push now in case their last card in hand is a counterspell. They die. I doubt my opponent has just 2 lands, but if they do, they lose. How I've been doing today. We're actually 8-2 on the day with Jund, which is way more than I'd expect to be. Opponent does have Lurrus, which I'm a little scared of here. We don't have Revolt for the push right now. Could have maybe saved Kroxa for Revolt for push for Lurrus. Alright, they get back Arcanist. Really interesting game. A lot of good top decks. Here. Yeah, I'm not playing Lurrus in my deck. Those versions are probably a little bit better, but I've been liking this deck today at least. Been having a good time. Now, I don't have any Kolaghan's commands in the deck. It's probably reasonable to play some. Oh, what a perfect top deck. I mean, not perfect. Lightning Bolt is better, but answering the Lurrus is huge here. Have I thought about trying the 3-mana god Egon? Well, I'm a devout worshipper of Klothys. And I believe in destiny and not death. So I think that you don't want to play Egon. Devout worshipper of Klothys. Although maybe they actually work well together because, you know, people are destined to die. I'll have to consult. You know, I'll have to go to Klothys' temple. See what she says. But to answer your question, I don't think that Egon is playable. Yeah, we don't have enough cards to escape Kroxa. My opponent's been spellbombing me a bunch. Isn't it a flavor failed to play Kroxa and Klothys? Oh no. I'll have to consult. I think it is. I don't really know the lore very well. Death is the only destiny. Well, but do people don't like really die on Theros though, right? People go to the underworld, which isn't exactly dying, right? Why would they hold the opts? Why would you not cast opt on your turn? Oh man, snap Kolaghan's Command. Wait, snap Unearth? On the Lurrus? Oh no. Well, I mean, they do have to have something to discard to Kroxa. Although, no, they can actually spellbomb me. Wow. What a top deck. Shouldn't F6 here in case they mistake Bolt and Lily and something. I don't have any cards in my hand. Why would I not F6? And I can't escape Kroxa at instant speed. Well, if my opponent's last card in hand is a land, they lose. That was last turn. I see. I mean, they would have to like bolt main phase. I feel like it's fine to F6. But it says GG. What a game. What a game. So lucky that they just had a land there. The world, probably pretty bad, right? Everybody keeps trying to escape. I think I'm discarding or putting back the elf. Couldn't you have plus Lily in one if it wasn't land? If I plus Lily, I discard the Kroxa and I can't escape it because I don't have enough cards in my yard. So no. I saw the cavern, I got real excited, but we're playing against Amulet. I can't. My opponents always have the nuts against me. I can't believe someone could be so lucky. It's actually a pretty good draw. Am I gonna bolt this Grazer? Yeah, game over. Nice luck, man. Probably better to like if we draw another bolt, we can double bolt the Titan. And I'm probably gonna trophy their Simic Growth Chamber this turn. Oh, although bolting the Grazer was good if they play a Dryad this turn, I can Edict it. So maybe that was a bit better. Kind of close. Bolt is better if they have Karn. How was the first league? We have 4-1 our first 2 leagues today. I think I'm just discarding Wrenn. I think Wrenn isn't doing much this game. I swear Grazer isn't beatable unironically. Grazer's really good, yeah. I mean, it's not good in this kind of matchup, but it's fun to pretend like it is. Kind of do the same thing for Matter Reshaper and, oh well, they did have Karn. Matter Reshaper and Colonnade. They get a coating, so I'm gonna plus before I bolt the Karn. Yes, I think I'm plussing, discarding Liliana, bolting Karn, then playing Spyro, and hoping my opponent at least doesn't have untapped land plus Titan for next turn. They discarded the coating. Weird. Why would they discard coating? I mean, it worked out for them. Just weird. And they get to Titan us. Yikes. Yeah, I'm going to bring in the Boil for sure. It's partially why we're playing it. To like have one card for the blue and Titan matchups was something I was looking at. Other cards I didn't want to discard. I guess. But I feel like if you wanted, like, there was maybe a better artifact to tutor up if you were just planning on discarding than the coding. Like if that's your plan, maybe just get something else. Is this matchup as impossible as it's already been? Impossible is a strong word. But yeah. Although we have to cling to dust right if we want to escape Kroxa. I guess we don't actually. Oh, and we have the basic forest. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize we had the basic forest for a second. That was almost a disaster. We do get to put our opponent down to one card in their hand. Hopefully it's not a Dryad or a Titan, but probably is. Or the losses in the first two leagues. The first one was Living In, and Sodek was playing it. That matchup seemed unwinnable. And then we lost to the Mirror. We actually played 3 Jund Mirrors last league. If you can believe that. Yikes. Tough stuff. I feel like we drew okay. I think the trophy on the chamber on turn 2 was good, but maybe I'm wrong. Could see having potentially taken a different line and finding success with that. I think I want 3 pushes. Probably don't want the Klothys though. Probably the first cling is probably okay. Just as the first cling is usually something I don't ever cite out. Yeah, I think Heliod is the best deck, right? I think Heliod is a bad matchup, so I feel like it makes sense to play 3 Beetles. I'm still like kind of testing it out. Boil why? I think my opponent sides into a bunch of islands. They like slide into a control deck, so I'm gonna hedge against that by playing Boil. They actually Dryad of the Elysian Grove makes all of their lands islands. So if they play Dryad, this kills all of their lands. Might go probably just getting Blood Crypt, Overgrown Tomb. My opponent has the nuts again. I'm actually gonna take the Grazer because I'm gonna hope that they Summoner's Pact for Dryad. And do I want to play Kroxa or do I want to play Damping Sphere? I think I just want to play Damping Sphere. Kind of, like if I draw a land, I'm just kind of happy to discard Kroxa to Liliana. No, the nuts is turn 1 Arboreal Grazer, Fran. It's unbeatable. Damping Sphere also shuts off Castle for making extra mana. We do need to, put 2 more lands into play if this is going to work, but hopefully we can do that. Just trophy our own thing. I guess the actual play is to attack here, see if they block. If they do, Assassin's Trophy one of their lands. And if they don't, just Kroxa. I guess maybe Kroxa first was better. Probably not. Yeah, I know Trophy can't hit her own thing. So then it's Summoner's Pact, Primeval Titan, 2 mystery cards. One of them is Valakut, which is an amazing card here. Oh, man. It's not drawing land number 3 feels super bad. We found it. I think we have to Edict the Dryad though. Which also doesn't feel great. I agree, friend. Like our matchup is not good, so just like having a a card that sometimes just wins the game, I think is worth having. You know, like when the matchup is as bad as it is, just have a card that says sometimes you just win the game. Just feels way too good to ever pass up on. No, Damping Sphere means they can't Titan last turn. Yeah, Garden Bog makes sense for them to grab in this spot. You also get to just discard the Boil a decent amount of the time. Like, I think we just discard it here and keep up both trophies. Like, trophy main phase, then... Oh, no, I don't have double green. Oh, I thought I had double green. Probably won't matter that much. They can Titan us again, but, you know, without haste, it's not that much of a problem. They also can't transmute T-West with the Growth Chamber. They got Dryad. So the last card in hand is a land. If it's a bounce land, we actually just lose. Oh my gosh, so sick. They ghost card themselves for the last damage. Gotta mulligan this. Although I'd love to keep a Lurrus against Wrenn and Six. Oh, is this a smart burn player who's playing Lurrus as a companion? Don't at me. Let's not talk about it, though. Is this Incinerator Burn? No, it's not, because of Lurrus, of course. Red and White Prowess? Mardu, maybe? Could be Mardu. Probably going Overgrown Tomb Basic Mountain with this hand. Oh. Shocking is super tempting. I think it's good to shock. Opponent's pretty likely to play a creature, right? Yeah, I think it's Mardu Shadow. Although Inspiring Vantage means they're not a shadow deck, right? Just burn. I think that is overvaluing Lurrus as a companion. I guess I was supposed to play land to make Goyf a... Yeah, this is bad. Now they can bolt and seal fire the Goyf, but it's also not that bad if that happens. It's kind of fine. Just gonna Edict, right? Could just attack and play a second Goyf and attack again. I think I'm just gonna Edict. Down to 13. Effectively at 11, of course. We did beat Burn earlier today. Their version is you know, obviously different than stock Burn. Love to see them just put Lurrus in their hand. Would love to see them attack Liliana. I kind of doubt that that would ever happen here. Well, lucky for us. I think this is a sign of weakness that they're attacking Liliana in a spot like this. This also grows the Goyf, puts it up to 6-7. So definitely attacking with Goyf since next turn. We'll just play another one and we'll have 2 lethal attackers against 1 blocker. They didn't put Lurrus into their hands, so they definitely have other things to do with their mana. Wrenn Goyf looks appealing. I don't think I want to go to 12. Right? I still think I want to fetch. I think the 1 life is worse. Just makes that line not that good. You like Spyro? No, I think you just want to put 2 lethal attackers in play. Well, line's a bit worse against Helix. We went 4-1 in league number 2, so I guess we're 9-3 on the day. I had Toski the last time I played John in the sideboard, and it wasn't bad. I think you could play it over the Boil, but I decided I want to Boil instead to have some more game against Titan. So I think we're playing Kroxa here, right? So that way they either have to discard a spell or die. And if they discard a spell, it's going to be very hard for them to kill us. Yeah, yeah. I've been thinking a little bit about Ponza with Toski. I think that there's maybe something there. Like main deck Toski and then sideboard the platinum package for the prowess matchup. But Ponza is bad against both prowess and Heliod, and it's hard to play a deck that you feel like is just bad in both those matchups. Second Helix is awesome here. Let's hope they don't have Boros Charm. Although I guess Boros Charm doesn't really matter that much because of Seal of Fire. Yeah, they're just any 2 burn spells get the job done. Although they have to discard a card here. They can't, if they have a land, they can discard a land though. Is Toski good enough to make Bitter Blossom or Lingering Souls playable? Well, the thing about Toski is that Toski is a great Magic card. You don't have to play... And Toski obviously makes Lingering Souls and Bitter Blossom powerful, but there are other good cards that are better than Lingering Souls and Bitter Blossom, like Seasoned Pyromancer, Icefang, Stoneforge Mystic, that all play better than Souls and Bitter Blossom. So why would you play Souls or Bitter Blossom when better options exist, you know? Like the only real answer is I like Bitter Blossom and Lingering Souls and I want to play with these cards, which is a totally fine answer. That is something I respect. Another Helix doesn't save them. Do they have main deck Deflecting Palm? I think I'm just attack. I guess no, let's play Seasoned Pyromancer first. Secure the Waste is reasonable. I disagree, personally. I've never found I honestly, even in Standard, I was super low on Secure the Wastes. I'm really, really low on that card as well. They can't have main deck Palm. I mean, they didn't concede for some reason. My opponent's definitely playing a lot of non-standard cards in Burn. Winning game 1 is also huge. I don't think main deck Palm is good, but I don't think it's the craziest thing. Alright, easy keep, I think. So you had to take a deck to a room to beat prowess 10 times in a row. What would you take? 10 times in a row? I mean, I would take, a super heavily metagame deck that plays like 4 main deck Core Firewalker, 4 main deck Ariok Champion, 4 Forge Tinder, 4 Anthonice, You just I would just main deck all the anti-prowess cards if that was my only goal. How's Gargaroth been? I've liked Gargaroth a ton in other decks, I'll say. Gargaroth hasn't been outstanding today or anything, but what's nice about Gargaroth is it's good against a large spread of decks, while other more narrow cards like just life gain spells are a little more narrow, of course. So Gargaroth really shines against Eldrazi Tron and Ponza, and it's good against Dredge. It's really good against tribal decks, I found. Gargaroth is good against it's a good card to have access to against aggressive red decks, but certainly not the best card. So I think I'm getting basic Swamp, basic Mountain, Smoldering Marsh. Or sorry, basic Swamp, basic Forest off of Catacombs, I think Smoldering Marsh off of this Mire probably. It's kind of an awkward draw where I really want to cast that this turn, but if I can't because they only have 1 card, I guess I can just save it for Lurrus and play Goyf this turn. Why Gargaroth over Huntmaster? Because Huntmaster is not a very powerful card. Gargaroth is so much better against creature decks than Huntmaster. It's like Huntmaster is I don't know. Gargaroth just dominates combat against every deck that plays creatures, and most decks that play creatures have very few or no answers to this. Huntmaster is just like a road bump, a bump in the road. Obviously, 4 versus 5 man is kind of nice, but Gargaroth has a much higher ceiling. I love Huntmaster of the Fells. I really, really want Huntmaster to be Pioneer legal so I can cast that card again and have fun with it. But Huntmaster is just not that good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, like not being dismembered, fatal pushed, Skyclave Apparition, or spell quellered is very relevant on Gargaroth. Maybe I was supposed to play Marsh this turn. Yeah, I was supposed to get a Marsh this turn, I think. We can maybe just get Stomping Ground. Ooh. I'm just going to main phase. I guess if I main phase Cling, it shrinks the Goyf, but that's probably fine. Goyf is still a 3-4. And I just want to make sure that my Cling to Dust doesn't get skull cracked. Has anyone ever thought about making Innistrad Block Pioneer legal? I don't know if you're joking, Pokey, but I've actually been talking about it a lot on stream lately. Just advocating for exactly that. And my main argument is that it would be really fun. And I don't have another argument beyond that. Beyond that, it would be really fun. It probably wouldn't be a very balanced thing. But boy, would I would really have a good time. So my opponent either needs to draw another path, a Deflecting Palm, a Skullcrack if they're going to win this game. Although if they draw a Skullcrack, I guess, yeah, if they draw a Skullcrack, we can Bolt Guide and then Cling to Dust to gain 3. Yeah, most people who actually play Pioneer have been saying that that idea is terrible, and they're probably right, but they really can't beat my argument of I personally would have a lot of fun playing it. Alright, Burn. First Gargaroth was looking pretty good. How about the second Gargaroth? That was basically Watsy's argument with Image 1, so I think it'd have good precedent. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You know, at some level, your game has to be fun, you know? I think fun should play a pretty big role in what happens. This hand is interesting against Lurrus. I like that this hand takes no damage. This hand does have a Psycho Land. I actually think we keep this against the Lurrus. Like, dealing no damage to yourself is huge against the Scourge deck. And this is really a 4-land hand. And both of these are obviously good in the opener here. I guess we take the Shadow. Well, actually with Forest Mire, like with 2 basic lands, the Shadow's not that good. We could take the Seal of Fire. That way they can't turn on a Scourge. Nah, I'm gonna take the Death Shadow. The Seal of Fire is a little underpowered against us. Couldn't Huntmaster be reprinted in Innistrad at the end of the year? I guess, but then it's like... I guess then it becomes Pioneer legal. That'd be kind of cool. Obviously, like... That's not the only card from Innistrad block that I think would be cool in Pioneer. There's a lot of them. Lingering Souls, Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. I actually think Snapcaster would be fine in Pioneer. I actually think Liliana would be fine in Pioneer. Craterhoof Behemoth is kind of interesting. I would probably also advocate for M13. I think Thragtusk would be a pretty interesting inclusion. Restoration Angel would be awesome in Pioneer. Tragic Slip is a cool one. Pillar of Flame is a cool one. What's the best way to cheat Gristlebrand in Pioneer? There's not that many good ways, but Gristlebrand is, you know, a card. Isn't Gargaroth also legal in Pioneer? Yeah, but I actually think Huntmaster is like a fine card in Pioneer, while Gargaroth isn't. Or sorry, Gargaroth is too. Like, but Huntmaster is just not that good in Modern. But both are fine in Pioneer. I think that Huntmaster is like a fine power level card for Pioneer, and in fact, in some ways, Gargaroth is worse in Pioneer than in Modern, because Pioneer is just that format is very well set up to just kill creatures and beat creature decks. And like part of the reason why Gargaroth is so good is that a lot of decks just don't have an answer to a 5-mana creature, because a lot of decks most decks just don't play 5-mana creatures. You know, that's part of the reason why Gargaroth is so good, is because people aren't ready for it. But in Pioneer, people play tons of removal, and they play tons of, you know, like Brazen Borrower is a really good card in Pioneer. You know, just, it's a pretty different format. Just like Gargaroth is also not good in Standard. For for basically the same reasons. Well, although Embercleave is probably the biggest reason why nobody plays Gargaroth. So my opponent drew a Scourge. Yeah, Olivia would be an awesome card for Pioneer. Probably not even that good. Did I see Sodok on Brazen Borrow Living End? I saw it firsthand earlier today. That was one of my 3 losses on the day. Liliana is so good in this matchup. In Grixis Dragon list, would Brazen Bar or Sprite Dragon be better? Well, in the Grixis Dragon deck, I play Lurrus as a companion, so I don't think that getting Borrower is good enough to lose Lurrus. And I think Sprite Dragon is an amazing card. I didn't see what the beef between you two was. Obviously, I encourage, no drama, right? I'll let any moderator sort that out. But I didn't see what the issue was. They kill Scourge. They kill Liliana, return Scourge. So we'll just draw a second Liliana. I think we're legally allowed to not do anything besides Bloodbraid Elf this turn. Though Liliana's probably looking a bit better. Yeah. Chat being chat. I don't know. Chat's like usually super chill about everything. Save Inquisition for Lurrus. I think I've got a great chat. You'd Inquisition. I don't think the Scourge matters. You'd Inquisition over cycling Barren Moor. I'm surprised they played Scourge into Lily Edict. I mean, my opponent just doesn't have anything else. Maybe I should have Elf first, so I'm just gonna, Rimblem the push here. This game's obviously very over. I feel like we've been boarding in these cards all day today. Not a big fan of Trophy in this matchup. I think this is just also the plan for this matchup. Alright, Egg. I don't really know exactly what started this, but I asked everybody to relax and you have failed to do so. Goodbye. You can only control your own actions, and you definitely weren't in control of yourself. Why Bolt, not Trophy? Maybe that's a good point. Bolt still kills a decent number of their creatures and sometimes kills them, and with Lurrus as a companion, they do make a really good job of utilizing that extra mana. Bolt still kills with Spear. But maybe Trophy is better than Bolt because it just does kill the black creatures. I think I have to take the Scourge, right? If they bolt themselves, they go down to 15, fetch shock down to 12, and they can play Shadow, but I think that's fine. What are donos for Thursday so far? We've got a Mardu Stoneblade deck, a Legacies, like Chalice of the Void, Phyrexian Dreadnought combo deck, which looks pretty cool. Probably not going to win very many matches, but have a good time. Then we have 2 open slots. Can I ask your thoughts on Pillage versus Wildfire in the sideboard of Jund? I feel like Pillage is better because it's like Wildfire is just not that good against Titan. It's not bad, you still bring it in, but Pillage is much better And I would, now that Titan is like about as popular as Tron, maybe a little less popular. It's hard to like justify any sideboard card that's better than, or a sideboard card that's only good against one of the two decks. So I think you want to play either Damping Sphere or Pillage. I think Pillage is still better than Fulminator Mage because Tron plays Veil of Summer. But I could see having a different philosophy on that. They bolt me on my instep? Kind of weird, right? So I feel like Damping Sphere is the best option because it's actually a 2-mana spell that you can play against Jund, which is against Tron, which is obviously huge. And then it's also good against Amulet Titan, which is a big factor, of course. Alright, pretty sure I'm just going to Lily Edict here. Oh, wrong color. Erotic Burrito, cool username. Thank you for your kind words. Do I think Solroth could be viable in any shell in Modern? Well, Solroth Realm Eater. I'm not familiar with the cards. Look. No, the wolf. As much as I like wolves, I'm not a big fan of Solroth. I think that the card is. It's hard to control that effect, especially on a fragile 3-mana 3/3 body with no ETB effect, you know. Especially when Solroth has to compete with Liliana of the Veil, Seasoned Pyromancer, Klothys, Kolaghan's Command, Luris. Just probably not getting there. Opponent does have trophies, so I kind of feel like the Gargaroths aren't getting there this game. Do you think Bugfairs could be good as Toski with the draw engine? This for like people keep asking about Bitter Blossom plus Toski. Like maybe you could play Bug with Toski, and Spellstarter Sprite is a great card. I'm of the opinion that Bitter Blossom, however, is not playable. And I hate having that opinion because Bitter Blossom rocks, but just is what it is. I think I'm going to play Spyro and discard Barren Moor, Elder Gargaroth. We can fetch a green source with the Verdant Catacombs tapped, or you know maybe draw a removal spell. Yeah, I don't think I could pass up on bolting the Shadow. I'm surprised my opponent has Trophy in their deck post board. Maybe they know about the... Oh, they drew a second bolt. Bummer. Maybe I could have... No, I guess Upkeep's not better because of Prowess. So the last card is Assassin's Trophy. And they have Lures as a companion and a fresh card. So we can't really play this Gargaroth into Trophy, right? Ooh, that was a good draw. Gonna spin to win, hopefully. Hopefully not spin to lose. Spin to Wrenn. I see. The thing about Fulminator Mage is that Veil is still the one most played. Yeah, I'm very anti Fulminator Mage. People I think just bought them for, you know, $30 each a while ago and still want to play them. Why Smoldering Marsh doesn't enter tapped a lot of time? Well, that's the thing, is like sometimes you can fetch it end of turn just as a tap land, but when it enters untapped, it's real nice. I've liked the Smoldering Marsh. It's been really good for me some amount of the time. I maybe can't perfectly articulate why I like it, but I do like it. So never think at me. I guess we want to block like this. What do I think about Alpine Moon? Alpine Moon has got way worse. Like, Alpine Moon is also not good against Titan. This is good for us. Alpine Moon is also not good against Titan. And so we can cycle now, see if we find Fatal Push. We don't. And then Alpine Moon has gotten much worse against both Eldrazi Tron and Green Tron since they printed Blast Zone. Alright. Gargaroth looking strong here. Got them to use the trophy. When it Ghost Quarter be good in the sideboard with Wrenn. I've played Ghost Quarter with Wrenn and Six. The problem is, like, if you're just Ghost Quartering every turn, you often have like 3-4 mana spells that you just don't get to cast. Because it still eats your land drop. That plan is also very slow. You would think that it'd be good, but it's not as good as you think, in my opinion. Do I mind playing Tron sometimes? I don't usually enjoy playing Tron. Good attack. I'm gonna draw a card. Draw Fatal Push. Oh, or another Gargaroth. Not a bad draw either. Might be able to shrink a Goyf with this, if that ends up mattering. See, there's multiple Planeswalkers. No artifacts though. So if they play Bobble and get the Goyf up to 6-7, we can shrink it. Yeah, I've been drawing really well today. What I recommend in the place of Alpine Moon? Damping Sphere, which is what I'm playing. And Collector Ouphe is also for the Tron matchup. I think I'm going to draw a card. My opponent didn't put Wrenn in their hand, or Lurrus in their hand, so they might have like Kolaghan's Command. No, if they had Kolaghan's Command, they'd attack. Do they have Veil of Summer? I feel like Veil of Summer actually makes sense, especially with that pause on the Cling to Dust. So let me actually just attack first. Is Inquisition the only sorcery? Oh, I kind of assumed that there were more, but I guess there was. That was probably the better decision. I'm gonna make a beast. GG. Even beat Weather the Storm here. I think the last card was Veil. Could be wrong. Alright, 3-1. We have 4-1'd our first 2 leagues with Jund today. If we just, I mean, going 12-3 with Jund is awesome. Obviously, I'd prefer to have a trophy. EOT Impulse, 8 months. Thank you for your resubscription. The Jund Mirror again. We played 3 Jund Mirrors last league. What deck super interests me? The ones I play on stream. You can check my stream decker, but I usually do a lot of deck building here on twitch.tv/aspiringspike. That's the main goal, is usually to kind of innovate on existing archetypes or build new decks. You know all the decks you play, then why did you ask? Thoughtseize, take your Wrenn into your own Wrenn. Pretty good in the mirror. Do you like Jund, Shadow, Red, Black? Yeah, I think both of those are good. I like to innovate, plays 3 straight Jund leagues. I mean, and I also have been winning, for whatever that's worth, and I do feel like I've got some innovation in this list, right? With the Gargaroths, the Beetles, the Marsh. Nothing crazy, but basically every single other day I'm brewing and definitely playing a little more out there stuff. No love for Thirst over Third Push? Not really. Obviously, we look really good right now. I think I'm just not that into it. Tough stuff. Tough spot here. I might just like Spyro, make 2 tokens. Probably not very good to do that. The Liliana is just so weak against the Wrenn and Six here. And I want to start pressuring the Wrenn. I think I'm going to Spyro discarding Mire Wrenn. No love for no love questions. It's better than why no. I feel like I prefer, I mean, obviously they're just the same questions, but I think I prefer the no love for phrasing more than the why no. This is the 4th Jund Mirror, I think, today. It was a troll, gotcha. Sometimes hard to interpret. Yeah, the Beatles are just for the Heliod matchup. I know we haven't cited them in all day today, so maybe they're unnecessary. But the reality is Heliod is like arguably and probably the best deck in Modern. I think it's the best deck in Modern. And it's probably not a very good matchup, so respecting it makes a lot of sense to me. I know we haven't played against it, but that's what the Beatles are there for, and I think that they're important to have, especially in a bigger tournament. You know, maybe you don't want them in league play, but I really would like to have access to them in like a challenge. I'm just going to attack the Wrenn. If this happens, we get to bolt it, and then play Liliana, discard Kroxa. Am I spending my 1400 on anything magic related, or am I saving it? I think I'm just saving it. Haven't gotten it yet. I don't have any plans for it though. Oh no, I'm not like a big spender. Life of like never having material possessions because I've been so. I mean, I'm not really used to having expendable income. I do have expendable income now. But I just don't really buy myself anything. Might buy Esther something. So yes, yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely in in the developing nation of Texas, this might be good to save it for another winter storm. And streaming is also like a pretty volatile profession. I may just become unpopular overnight, so that's another good reason to be saving. Heliod is objectively the best deck. I agree that Heliod is the best deck, but I think it is a conversation. Nothing in Magic is really objective, anyways. Spike out here trying to get canceled. I mean, I'd really prefer not to be, but the reality is when you just spend all day, every day talking with no filter, I don't know, I might say something stupid one day. I guess no filter is also not entirely true either. But you know what I mean. Just very easy to say one stupid thing. Like how I firmly believe that Itachi's character in Naruto is heavily retconned and just really dislike most decisions with Itachi's character. I'm going to attack with the Spyro. I think I'm attacking my opponent. I would not have made that attack there if I didn't already have... Oh, actually, this attack was bad because now they can Edict my Kroxa because they have the ping. So good decision to ping first because now they can Bloodbraid it into Wrenn and still cast it. Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't have attacked because of Liliana. Bloodbraid into Spyro is also nasty. I find it problematic that you can't make an honest mistake on the internet. I think you can. I actually feel like internet culture is probably going to become better about that, but it's also like, you know, I mean, the very nature of being a streamer is if you say things that people like, people are going to keep watching you. If you say stupid things, people are going to stop watching you. And that's just how it goes. That's what you sign up for, I think. And yeah, I'm okay with attacking here because we just get to replay it. I think we put them to 1. Yeah, I keep forgetting I'm not a streamer and I'm just an MTGO user, though. It's an excellent point. Yeah, that's definitely the nature of the gig, you know? If you say something that people don't like and people stop following you, that's just something that can happen. And a lot of times the people who like say stupid stuff, you know, it's definitely with good reason that people stop following them. But that doesn't mean you can't grow or change or evolve as a person and work on yourself. What's my favorite opening of Shippuden and why is it new song? I honestly don't know any of the songs by name, but I do listen to Naruto openings. I used to before every tournament, whenever like me and the boys were rolling up on the convention center, I'd usually blast some Naruto openings. Wait, usually like the original one, not the Shippuden ones. We keep this on the draw in the mirror? Probably not. I'm gonna mulligan. I would like that first hand back. My opponent did mulligan to 6, but I think I would keep like almost any functional, semi-functional 7 over any 5-card hand in the mirror. I am going to keep the Inquisition. We touched on this a bit earlier today, but you used to have to side out, or used to want to side out your discard spells in the mirror, but now I think you really want to have like 4 to be able to discard Wrenn and Six, because Wrenn and Six is so important in the mirror. It's just so devastating every time one player has Wrenn and the other doesn't. Notably, we have Wrenn and Six and no fetch land, which is a pretty different beast. If we draw a fetch, it's pretty good though. They drew something. I guess they just are trying to hold a push in case I have Goyf. You miss Bob. Yeah, Bob is a great card, but a card that I think has, you know, been retired a bit. That's okay. Bob's been a very hard-working card for a long time. I think he's earned his retirement. Bob Marr. I don't think I said his last name right. I think Bob would be okay in Pioneer. Yeah, I actually think Bob would be like a... Pioneer can kind of just be like the cards that everybody really likes that are a little underpowered now, the format. Like, you know, get your Huntmasters, you get your Bobs, you get your Restos, Lilianas. Well, if this resolves, it's really hard to lose. My opponent's had some good Bloodbraid Elves. But we're going to have a good turn where we get to go Klothys and then Fatal Push Bloodbraid Elf and then play Gargaroth the following turn. Any rental services I'd recommend. I use Mana Traders. I like their service. I'd recommend it. We have double green with Klothys, so I think I'm just going to push the Bloodbraid Elf off Swamp. I guess I could have maybe held it for Ravine, but I think I'd still rather kill the Elf. I think it's Mar. Yeah, I think you're right too. Bob was a little bit before my time as far as like players to watch, you know. I don't have a Mana Traders link. I've just used their service for over 2 years now, and I recommend it. I think it's a good quality service. Liliana would be bad. Yeah, I guess we're discarding Gargaroth. Oh, they had Kroxa. I guess we get to Klothys Kroxa, though. I know that this gets edicted, but it's either getting edicted or discarded. Yeah, we definitely need to top deck. We do have the Seasoned Pyromancer, but yeah, we're gonna need to draw a little bit better to get out of this. What's my take on this? Mulligan aggressively for good hands, or almost never mulligan because every card matters. My take is that mantras like that are good for, you know, picking a philosophy is good for teaching new players how to play Magic, or, you know, how to win at Magic. But the reality is that everything is contextual and every situation is a little bit different. And having mantras that you have to abide by, or, you know, only picking one of those two philosophies is just going to hurt you, because the reality is every situation is different. And once you understand that, you're going to start winning more. You target the Gargaroth, not the Spyro. I guess it doesn't really matter. Bolt the Bird is the best mantra. I mean, mantras in general have to be unlearned as a Magic player. You know what I mean? It's like, you're taught never keep a one-lane hand, but there are plenty of one-lane hands in Magic the Gathering that are keeps. You're told, you know, you're told a lot of different things. But the thing is, the game of Magic, every game is different, and there's always going to be a situation to do something. So all of these things that you learn as a new Magic player always have to be unlearned. Like Bolt the Bird, like against like Devoted Druid decks, a lot of times you Bolt the Bird and then they play Devoted Druid and you just lose. Alright, gonna make a red mana here. Good draw. Oh, I guess. Oh, they can Soul Guide Lantern though. Oh, shit. They didn't Soul Guide Lantern. This is the second time today my opponent has just like not Soul Guide Lanterned me. A Spoke 14 months. What's my favorite enchant land? Probably Wolf Willow Haven, because Wolf Willow Haven qualified me for a PT. Hard for it to not be Wolf Willow Haven. They're still kind of crushing me. Yeah, I mean, at least we're not. You know, we're behind for sure, but we have a chance to win. Wait, they sacked the Lantern to draw a card, and then they discarded it to the Kroxa. Trying to not lose the 3, I guess. Yeah, they do get to ping and Edict. So maybe I was supposed to attack. Wait, we're dead on board? Oh, we are dead on board, huh? Oops. Game 3. Well, the 5 is so tough in the mirror. Can't you stack the trigger so they can't Lantern? Well, they can Lantern in response so that you just don't have the cards in your graveyard to exile to escape Kroxa in the first place. But yes, you can stack the triggers where they don't get to exile the Kroxa itself. I think I keep. His hand's really awkward, doesn't have green mana, but a green mana makes this hand great. Just Kroxa is so good with a hand like this. And then we also have Wrenn and Six. I might take their Lantern. I mean, Wrenn and Six is probably just too good to not take. Yeah. But just like the Lantern makes my Kroxa kind of awkward. I also can't Wrenn and Six on turn 2 no matter what. Alright, drawing a second Kroxa, I'll cast this one. But an almost F6 third turn, it looks like. What would be my ultimate pick for any format to qualify for a big event? I'm not too picky. Not too picky as long as I qualify. Although getting to play Legacy at the PT was awesome, so maybe I'd say Legacy. I think I still cast this. Three matches in Drift League, 3x Jund. Why is Jund so popular today? Like I woke up and decided to play Jund today on a whim. And I've also played against it 4 times. Frontier. Oh man, Frontier, dude. That's the name I haven't heard in a long time. It wasn't a whim, it was mass inspiration. Maybe everybody else just woke up with the same whim. Oh, so big, 6/7. Do I want to play my own Goyf here, or do I want to get Kroxa down? Very, very interesting decision. Very interesting decision. I think I'm going to play my own Goyf. Why does both Historic and Pioneer exist? Good question. The Arena client, I just can't support Pioneer, and they really would like for it to be one format, but they needed some place for Arena players to use their non-standard cards. That was becoming a need. Pioneer was the ideal choice, but importing all of these old cards was going to be a bit too time consuming to. I mean, they're trying to make it happen. It's just taking forever. Guess we lose. But like, ideally, what Wizards wants to have happen is Pioneer come to Arena. It's just not happening very quickly. Jeff Hoogland gets upset about people claiming that all the time. Pioneer coming to Arena. I thought that was the plan. Is that just not true? You kind of like Wrenn and Six plus Goyf next turn. I didn't have a fetch land in the yard though. Ugh, I'm gonna get crushed by Hotmaster after chat begging me to play Hotmaster all day. I need to Spyro here, so I'm gonna do that. We need to hit Fatal Push. Didn't hit Fatal Push. We can't escape Kroxa next turn, I guess. We're not in good shape though, of course. Oh, we actually have decent blocks. I guess we're dead to bolts, but just have decent blocks. We also get to shrink the Goyf down to 5/6 and maybe play Elder Gargaroth if we draw a green source. Could play Gargaroth if we exile a land, but tough stuff. So we're 2-2 in Jundmir's today. Hard to feel too bad about losing there. We were 11-4 on the day with John, which is not what I expected to happen today, but I'm having a real good time. I do think that I want to play at least one League of Bant Squirrelblade today. So let's switch to that. What a delightful